So finally, I can finish this twin. Number 19, when I sat down and did it yesterday afternoon, didn't have enough information. So I had to fix it. I almost don't like doing twins for that reason, because it just ends up being a lot of work on me. Wait for announcements to go over, so I can't even hear my own thoughts.
There'll be a senior meeting in the cafeteria today. Also, donuts will be here for the FBLA members on Monday, so make plans.
I want a donut.
No ACT prep today during the regular studies.
Sweet.
And also there'll be a hot chocolate card available today for $2 at break. We'll now have our moment of silence.
All right. So you have 29 coins made of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. All the coins, right? So the number of pennies plus the number of nickels plus the number of dimes plus the number of quarters is 29. That's the equation that everybody should be able to write. Now they total 261 cents. I like to convert that over to whole numbers. A penny is worth a penny. A nickel is worth 5 cents. A dime is worth 10 cents. And a quarter is worth 25 cents. For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You know, it's kind of hard to record here. Let's see. Now, you're going to be able to use a calculator on this, so let's try to make this as easy as possible. You have half as many quarters as pennies. All right, so pennies would be half the quarters, right? Half as many quarters. If you have 8 pennies, hold on. I just don't like that. I want to make this as easy as possible on y'all as possible, and you're using calculators, so it's not that big a deal. Half as many quarters. So if you had 2 pennies, you'd have 1 quarter. All right, so half the pennies is a quarter. All right, for equality, 1/2 P is Q. Or you can double up the quarters. I don't know which one of these is easier on you, but you can use either one of them, okay? You can. It doesn't matter which one you do. And I don't know as a class which one will be easier for y'all to figure out. I'm just going to stick with that. Pennies is twice the quarters. And you talk about the numbers. Now, you see the form over here? Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. We're going to have to move the 2Q over. All right, so P minus 2Q is 0. And then we're going to have to use placeholders. Penny. There are no nickels. There are no dimes. And there's minus 2Q. And when I jumped over, I'm equal to a 0. All right, what else have we got? We have 4 times as many dimes as nickels. 4 times as many dimes as nickels. So if I had 4 dimes, I would have 1 nickel. That's what I would have based off that sentence. 4 times as many dimes as nickels. For true equality, I have to multiply the number of nickels by 4. It's kind of backwards there, isn't it? This is, 4 dimes, 1 nickel. But for true equality, I have to multiply the number of nickels. Another way of doing that would be to say 1/4 D is N. But I'm going to use this one, okay? That's the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to do kind of like I did here. I'm going to move that 4N left. I'll have dime minus 4N is 0. And I've got to use my placeholders. I have to have pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters constant. So there are no pennies. There is a negative 4 nickel. There are no dimes. Oops, hold on. About screwed that up. There's 1 dime, and it is positive. There are no quarters, and it's equal to 0. And I need one more equation. Additionally, you have 15 more pennies than nickels. All right? 15 more pennies than nickels. So the nickels would be the pennies plus 15. Oh, did that wrong. The pennies would be the nickels plus 15. 15 more. So I got to add 15 to the number of nickels to equal the number of pennies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the n over. P minus n is 15. And I've got a p there, a negative nickel. There are no dimes, there are no quarters, and it's equal to 15. Kind of rough to write that one, isn't it? It really is. It really, really is. Anyways, at this point in the game, it's easy because you get to use a calculator. Right? So, what do I want to do here? I want to go to second matrix. I want to go to math, edit. That's going to be a 5 by 5. I probably already typed this one in. So the first row was 1, 1, 1, 1, 29, 1, 5, 10, 25, 261, 1 penny, 0 nickels, 0 dimes, negative 2 quarters, 0, 0 pennies, negative 4, 1 dime, 0 quarters, 0 cents. This one I actually did different the other day, but 1, negative 1, and then 15. That'll do it. So after I get everything put into my matrix, I quit out. Back to matrix math. I scroll down to RREF, and I just choose matrix A. And there's my answers. All right. So I get this resulting matrix. It's rather large. 1 0 0 0 16 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 4 1 2 3 4 8. Then I got the last row, which is nothing but zeros. That's fine. This is pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. It says the pennies are 16. 16 pennies. There's 1 nickel. There are 4 dimes. And there are, and there are 8 quarters. That's just interpreting that matrix, okay? That was a rough little problem. It was. Number 20 is one of the easier ones on here. Given some zeros, write known factors. That's all it is. Given some zeros, write known factors. This probably be multiple choice or multiple select. That's how I would probably do this one. Sadly, you can't cheat with the calculator. So we have this theorem called remainder theorem. And it says if f of some constant is 0, then the factor is x minus the constant. That's all it says. So what I'll do is I'll scan the list. That guy, not a 0, not a factor. It's just not a 0, so not a factor. And this one, not a factor either. So the ones that are zeros, the zeros are x equals 3, right there, x equals negative 1, and the last one, x is 10, because that's function notation. Those are the values of x. So those are my zeros, and because these are my zeros, my factors just happen when you move over. X minus 3, x plus 1, and x minus 10. There's my 3 known factors. And this question will likely be multiple select. Anyways, that's an easy one. All right, when you take a test, you identify where the easy ones are, and you do them first, right?